Welcome to our Interpreter Marketing Mastermind. This is our jam session with Nina Hirschberger and Bert Molnar. And our goal here is to help executives and business owners to really take their marketing to the next level and raise profits and stand out in a crowd and differentiate yourself from the competition. So, Nina, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I always say I start my story with, and it was not one I remember, but it was one my parents told me I did. When I was a kid, I begged going to door selling rusty bobby pins. Now they didn't let me, so I didn't do it, but that was the beginning of my entrepreneur journey. I did sell Christmas cards door to door. I did sell Avon door to door. And then I was the first paper girl in our entire city. Now paper routes and newspapers are almost extinct. But I mean, from very early on, I was very fascinated with the sales process and the marketing. Ultimately, I ended up being a director of a large print and mail operations where we mailed and printed 9 million a month.
Wow.
And then from there, I went on to do some other things. But I primarily focus on local businesses and helping them double, quadruple, and grow their businesses.
Yeah, that's a lot of what we're going to share. And Nina, you mentioned kind of a key topic that I've been blessed to take several businesses and raise them to really remarkable heights. And started off door knocking and was blessed to be in a financial firm, and I grew to be number one out of 14,000 offices. Very similar to yours. Did some door knocking, as you know, and that got a little tired, kind of driving down the half-mile dirt road and having the dog jump on my suit and tie. And so I started doing events, trying to find creative ways to bring people in. So we're going to share. Nina and I have worked together on quite a few topics. We teach a lot of executives on, again, unique ways to stand out and really focus on your profits and having fun in your business and really building relationships with your clientele. So that's what our marketing mastermind is going to be, to really help you as the business owners and the top executives and decision makers so that you can really look at your business and focus it and really hone it to just take it to the next levels without having to go crazy on things, just taking the best parts of your business and the most profitable parts of your business and learning how to leverage that. So that's what our whole group is about. And we'll walk through every couple of weeks on new topics and now ways to walk through your whole business from top to bottom to just explode profits.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I gotta time out. I gotta stop you because you glossed over the fact that you were an event person. But I'm telling you, if you're listening to this, if you're privileged to hang out with this amazing guy here, you're gonna learn some amazing things. Now, this isn't what you normally would get. We are not dry. We are not. We do things unusual, different, outrageous, as a good mentor of ours, Bill Glazer, said years ago. But anyway, I'm excited that Bert's going to be able to share some of those things that he's done because it's better than anybody I've ever seen. And I've been around a lot. So
Oh, thanks. And Nina does a lot of international speaking and world topics and Disney and cruise events and really high level. So that's quite the compliment. Thank you. And that's actually a good segue because today we're going to talk about how to use holidays to really catapult your business and take advantage of kind of the emotional trigger points that people are already in the mood to buy and how that can apply to your business. Even though you may think, gosh, I have no way to use, like, Valentine's Day is what's coming up. So that's what we're going to talk about. And you may think, gosh, I've got a tire business. What the heck am I going to do with a Valentine's, Day business? So the first part that we want you to start preparing your mind for is, instead of saying that, well, that won't work in my business or my business is different, we really want you to focus on, well, how can I? How can I apply that weird, strange thing? Because if you keep doing the same old, you're going to get the same results. And most business owners go to your core group of, very similar type of businesses, and you just hear the same things over and over. So our goal here is to get you to think differently, to get you to break away from the crowd. So like the tire store, a good friend of ours, Canon Automotive, for Valentine's Day, he put a big tire necklace around his head and said, going bald, we'll get you new tires. And he did that for a Father's Day event But quite frankly, most of his clientele from that came from the mothers who said, "Gosh, I kind of handle both roles in my household, and my tires are going bad." So the Father's Day event ended up actually attracting and appealing. The primary target was the women who needed new tires, and just from him wearing a tire over his head with his bald head, saying, "Going bald, we'll get you set up."
In fact, I think, Bert, if I remember that story, didn't he put that on a billboard?
He did, yes.
Which is not what we would normally even recommend, but it works so well for him
Right.
is because, it was so different, people like, it's like, what?
Yeah, so
It
worked
was a
excellent.
great.
So let's kind of chat about Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day, folks, if don't miss out on this, if your business isn't geared for it, it is the fourth largest cash flow holiday of the entire year. So there's some 30 to 40 billion dollars that's going to be spent in this market, which takes it, high and above any other general business day. And if you're like most businesses, kind of February could be a seasonal or kind of a slow time. So if you want to, kickstart and get some cash flow, start thinking, how can we market your business to take advantage of the Valentine's Day that happens? So 54% of adults participate in Valentine's Day. And men spend about $300 on average. Women spend about $109 on average. So, we study these statistics and market. Matter of fact, we're going to add some tips in the bottom. So we'll have a checklist of 10 items of, the trigger points and emotional triggers and the neuroscience behind using holidays. And then we'll also include a link, and we'll have a more advanced report. So if you really want to see some details and how to use the numbers and crunch and some really creative ideas, and then we'll put examples of what we've done in the past to take advantage of this cash flow. Nina, did you want to chime in and kind of
Yeah,
talk about?
so what we're going to probably talk about is doing the old school direct mail kind of thing. Now you can do this in any kind of media that you're using. You can do it in email. Everybody wants to do email because they think it's free, although most of the email gets stuck in the spam folder, so then nobody ever sees it anyway, so it's not really free. But years ago, I did a mailing at Thanksgiving, and it was in a pink envelope, and I sprayed perfume on it. Now, I know things have changed in the world of, the mail. And I think, Bert, didn't you research just even yesterday to make
Yes, I
sure, can
checked.
you still put perfume in it? But I tell you what, that thing got open like crazy because, as we all know, very few people are actually, in the mailbox anymore. You go out there and it's just pretty much, the same old, same old. Well, if it was a pink envelope that had the scent in it, you would at least think, and particularly if it was handwritten and live stamped, you might have a chance to open it.
Yeah, so we'll teach, how to do mail properly, and one of our future events we'll get into details. We're going to keep these short and sweet, and just kind of hit the highlights. But Nina kicked on a key point. Don't send it in a number 10 business envelope with a sticker on the front and run through the postage machine. We want it to look like it's something personal. So I sent my niece a Christmas present. So I wrote a How to Hunt for Kids and did a girl's version. I sent that to my niece. So she sends me this little handwritten letter, little 8-year-old, and it's got drawings on it. And it mentions her favorite parts of the book, and a little thank you note from an 8-year-old. And that's one of my favorite things in the world, to get that letter in the mail. And that was probably my highlight of the year. And I moved that letter and put it over in my treasured memories box. And so, like you say, Nina, we just don't use the mail like we used to, and email just is kind of dead, and really all the online gets so many distracting attentions and different social medias, it's hard to reach people. So direct mail is really one of the best things. And as you mentioned before, I did a lot of events, and so by mailing an invitation and making it very exclusive, where it's by invitation only, and every event that you ever do, make sure that you do like what I call a tea for two. So make sure that you invite your favorite dinner guest, your favorite movie guest, because your best prospects, your best clients, they tend to hang around with other people kind of like them. And a referral's 8 times more likely to do business with you. So you could spend money on postcards to, 3,000 people in your community, and they'll go to the wrong markets. And if you're looking for high end, but it gets delivered to mobile home parks and that kind of thing. But if you direct mail to your list and your prospects, and they bring somebody just like them, well, now you can spend a few more dollars and you can get your ideal clientele who is the most profitable.
Yes, but
So,
what we're talking about is using direct mail. We're talking about doing it in a unique way. But if we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day, the elephant in the room is using the AI these days to come up with certain things. And I love, so if you use ChatGPT or Claude AI or, Gemini or anything that's out there now, go and ask it to come up with a headline for your business for your direct mail Valentine's thing. And what kind of offer? Use it as your assistant. It's phenomenal.
It's a great starting point and a really good stimulator for ideas. I would caution, be careful, don't have it write your whole letter and things like that. You really still need to kind of write your own marketing, but it is a great idea generator and a great stimulator to use that and be unique. So again, kind of think of, like Nina said, just, putting the invitation or putting the, marketing inside of a, pink greeting card envelope, that's handwritten, instead of looking like a business because that'll get opened. Postcards, they get read before they get thrown in the trash can. So that's another way to make sure your things get seen. So I did a double date night, movie night, which would be appropriate for Valentine's Day. So, two movie tickets for my guests and two extra movie tickets for them to bring a friend. And that worked out phenomenal. I was trying to reach doctors and physicians. And as you can imagine, they have gatekeepers, and it's pretty hard to get in through doctors and physicians. So by doing a double date night, movie night, I was able to get them to show up. And I had a phenomenal sign up of my dream clients, or what I call my whale hunting kind of clients. And we'll have an episode just on that. So the idea is be thinking ahead for Valentine's, how you can use some creative ideas to do a sale. So for instance, Nina sent me a good idea of, make your sale 14% off. So just simply tie it in that, 14% is a little different and unique. And that's the whole point of what our marketing conversation is here, is that if you use timely things, personal things, and things that kind of have the stickiness that help people remember you and your business, that's what this group is all about, to give you those fresh ideas. So be sure to sign up and click our link below so we can give you a heads up in a couple of weeks when we do the next one. All right, so that should give you some stimulation for some ideas to be thinking about Valentine's Day and how to get your clients to connect with your business, even if it's unrelated. So you've got a sweetheart deal, you've got a 14% off sale, and then part of everything we're going to teach is think of ways to do the opposite. So maybe instead of, like if you're a restaurant and you don't, that it's going to take care of itself on Valentine's Day, but it's going to be so crowded. You're going to have the worst customer service. You're going to be the slowest that you can be because your staff is just overwhelmed and climbing all over each other, and you can only cook so much on the one stovetop. So think about how can I do things opposite or different in my business. So you do your a special on the day before when it's not crowded and your guests can have a conversation. And you turn it from being, instead of selling food, sell romance. And so, you send out your invitations that instead of being the restaurant director, you're the director of romance, and you want to invite them for a romantic evening on a night that's, not crowded, not noisy, and doesn't have bad service and all those kind of things. So on our next episode, we're actually going to have a guest on here who is our $6 million woman. And she is one of the best restaurateurs that I've ever met. And she started a business from scratch with a business partner and just exploded that business and had loyal, raving clients coming in. So be sure to stay tuned for the next episode. And then, as I mentioned, we'll have links down below. If it's not quite there yet, we'll add it soon. That'll have your top 10 tips of how to use neural triggers and emotional triggers to use holidays to grow your business. And we're going to have a very in-depth research report so you can really learn the nuances of, in this case, we'll talk more about Valentine's Day and just how people spend, the finances, how to reach them, the types of businesses where they do their spending, how it compares to other holidays, and so on. So it is packed full of just knowledge to just take your business to the next level. So stay tuned to the next one, and Nina and I are signing off, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Cheers.